and the omnibus. So I was forced into the Archers when I was a child. And look, it's come back to bite me later on. I'm awash with this stuff.
The Archers is the world's longest-running radio show, with more than 15,000 episodes broadcast. Despite being a rural flavour show, The Archers is recorded in the heart of...
Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're really pulling back the curtain on some intensely human moments from The Archers.
Yeah, those moments that really grab you.
Exactly. We're talking about those raw, vulnerable instants. First, there's this quiet, almost heart-stopping confession. You know, I'm a fraud.
Mm-hmm. In the farmhouse kitchen. So potent.
And then, totally different scene, this escalating tension. A leader facing down an angry crowd, about to spill a really difficult truth.
Right, the public reckoning versus the private one.
These aren't just plot points, are they? They feel like real windows into, well, the challenges of authenticity, leadership.
And how crucial genuine connection is. Absolutely.
Our sources today, they're just packed with dialogue, character moments. It gives us this really intimate look at human psychology, community dynamics in Ambridge.
And the messy reality when our choices, ripple outwards.
So our mission really is to pull out some insights here about the courage it takes to face yourself, the consequences of decisions.
And importantly, the role of real support when you're facing these personal or sometimes very public crises.
Yeah, we're exploring authenticity, accountability, and that really challenging path to rebuilding trust. So let's get into it.
What's really fascinating, as you just said, is how these two stories, one so internal, one so public, they don't just run side by side, they kind of converge on these core themes.
Right.
It's about truth, definitely. Accountability, yeah. But maybe most of all, it's about needing that genuine connection.
Mm-hmm.
The sources show us the individual battles, sure, but the bigger picture, it's about how communities react to honesty, or, the lack of it.
And how that shapes everything.
Exactly. Relationships, trust, the whole fabric.
Okay, so let's unpack this. Starting with Amber's story feels right. It really sets the stage for that personal struggle with authenticity.
Yeah, it does.
It kicks off with Brad showing up at Grange Farm. He's clearly got something on his mind, but he's almost comically awkward about it.
Right. I just wasn't sure if he should come. You can feel the hesitation.
Totally. And Amber's just confused at first. You upset me Sunday. Like, she genuinely doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it quickly gets to the real issue. The phone business. That incident that sent her running inside in tears.
Yeah.
And then she hits him with it. You told me off.
And that immediately brings up what you might call the receiver's truth, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Brad's like, no, I didn't tell you off. He says, I was just asking about it.
His version.
But for Amber, feeling as fragile as she was, it landed like a total rebuke. Like he'd seen right through her.
That carefully built facade.
Precisely. That gap in perception is just crucial. And the core of it, it becomes clear pretty fast, is the teeth business, the veneers.
Right.
But it's not just cosmetic, is it? It's this physical symbol for her whole self-perception. A symbol of this massive internal struggle with self-worth. That's what she thinks Brad saw through.
That line she says, pretending to be what I'm not, it just cuts deep, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
It's that feeling, maybe we've all brushed up against it, where the mask just feels heavier than your actual face.
Yeah. And it's not like a one-off thing for her. It's clearly been building this quiet pressure cooker of self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And then comes that really powerful confession, I'm a fraud, pretending to be what I'm not.
So raw.
And she admits, the teeth, well, they're all part of it. She's been building this picture, she says, of what I want to look like, what I want to be like, and it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not just vanity. It's this almost desperate attempt to, manifest a different self. She says something like, I reckon if I say it proud enough and long enough, it'll stick eventually, turn into the picture.
Gosh.
Such a contrast to, online life where you can be whoever you want to be, real life, much harder. And that fear of being found out is just huge.
And you really hear that vulnerability, that tremble in her voice when she asks, but what happens if George doesn't like who I am? What happens then? That's the absolute core fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
That the real self, stripped bare, just won't be enough. That the love she's found depends on the image.
The ultimate test. Will he accept the real me?
Yeah.
And this is exactly where Brad just shines. He really steps up as a true friend. His reassurance is just unwavering. He tells her so clearly, you don't have to pretend, no, Amber. You only have to be who you are.
Simple but powerful.
He doesn't just listen, he actively pushes back against her deepest fear about George. And knowing George's history, the addiction, the self-destruction.
Right, that adds weight.
Brad's words carry even more power. He says, you must know he's completely in love with you.
Right.
He jokes about George driving him mad talking about her, but then he lands this incredible line.
Yeah.
George has made some heavy mistakes in his life, but being with you isn't one of them. In a kind of way, you've saved him. He's a much better person now than he was before you.
Wow. That's huge affirmation.
It really is. It's not just saying you're worthy. It's showing her how she's worthy, her positive impact on someone else.
That moment then, when Amber finally cries after hearing that, it feels like a turning point, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What do you think actually broke through her defenses there?
Well, I think it's not just what he said, but the absolute sincerity behind it, that genuine connection.
Okay.
Amber felt she had to earn love by creating this image, right? Brad just sidestepped all of that. He offered unconditional acceptance and validated her actual impact.
He showed her proof.
Exactly. Not just, you're good enough, but look what you've done. Look at George's transformation. That moves it from like a nice idea to concrete evidence she can actually believe. That's validation, not just platitudes. It hits home.
And it clearly does. Because she cries, but then almost immediately she makes this really clear decision.
Yeah.
She says, anyway, I've decided to ditch the veneers. Why? Because they belong to the fake Amber.
Taking control.
Right. But it's not just stopping something. It's about actively starting again.
Yeah.
A concrete step. She's still going on her trip. That's important. But now she'll be saving money on the treatments, money she can put towards George's parties, like a forward-looking thing, a statement, I'm trying to put it behind me, start again.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? It's self-reconciliation in action.
Yeah, it is.
Which makes you think, doesn't it? How often do we maybe present an image hoping it sticks?
Mm-hmm.
And how vital are those friends who can actually see past it, who see our real worth, even when we can't? It really hammers home the value of genuine connection over pretending.
And that line between aspiring to be better and just being inauthentic, it's really sharp here, isn't it? I mean, wanting to become what I say I am, is that always bad? Or is there a healthy way to aim for an ideal?
That's a great question.
Well, aspiration, I think, is usually about growth, right? It's forward-looking. You have a positive vision of who you could become. But when it becomes mostly about hiding who you are now, or it's driven by this fear that the real you will be rejected, that's when it tips into inauthenticity.
The motivation matters.
Exactly. It shifts from like internal progress to managing an external performance. And that's where the burden, like Amber felt, just gets crushing. Brad helped her realign, didn't he? Match the outside with the inside again. A huge step towards self-acceptance.
So Amber's journey was this really intense internal battle resolved in that moment of trust with Brad. But what happens when that struggle for truth moves out of the kitchen and into, well, a very public arena where secret decisions threaten to just rip a community apart?
Yeah, that's where Lily's story comes in. High stakes.
You can feel the tension ratchet up immediately as we switch to that cricket team meeting. The air is just thick with it.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie and Billy are talking about the payment business. Freddie's trying to distance himself fast. No handouts for him.
It's covering his bases.
And then Lily walks in with Linda, who Freddie calls Management United. Bit sarcastic there.
It's just a bit. Sets the scene perfectly for a showdown. The stakes for the team's reputation, for trust, couldn't be higher.
Right.
And the crisis just blows wide open when Lily makes this absolutely stunning admission. Takes real guts, you have to say, standing there in front of everyone.
What does she say exactly?
She lays it all out. It was my idea to introduce payment for certain players. I thought of it. I set it up. I decided it should be kept a secret.
Wow. No hedging?
None. Not just admitting the action, but the intention and the secrecy. Full ownership. Unambiguous.
And the team's reaction? Predictable, maybe?
Immediate, visceral. It's betrayal, isn't it? More than just anger.
Yeah.
Players like Tom, just furious, feeling treated like dirt, lied to. His line, the team is still divided, just sums up the damage to morale.
Total breakdown of cohesion.
And then Lily refuses to name the players who got paid. She says, I don't think I can do that. It wouldn't be fair. But that just digs the hole deeper, right? Reinforces that them and us feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Divides them even more.
Linda, management united. She tries to smooth it over, provide context. It was done for the right reason, for the team.
Good intentions defense.
But Lily herself gets it. She says she wants to clear the air, face the music. She knows she's walking into considerable and perfectly understandable anger.
So even if the intention was good, the secrecy completely poisoned it. What happens right after this bombshell confession? The immediate fallout.
It's swift and severe. Billy, the director of cricket, he resigns on the spot.
Wow.
A clear act of accountability. Maybe trying to take the heat off Lily, maybe just principled. But it gives Tom some satisfaction, the text says.
A symbolic head rolls.
Right. It underlines how serious it is, the need for a visible consequence.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop the bleeding.
And it really doesn't, does it? The damage is immediate and looks potentially fatal for the team itself.
Totally. Tom calls later, confirms it. The team's decision is brutal. All agreed we're never playing for Ambridge again.
Gone. The whole team.
Yeah.
Effectively dismantled. It just shows the incredible depth of the broken trust. Rebuilding that, if it's even possible, it's going to be incredibly hard.
Which raises that big question for any group, really. What happens when decisions, even if maybe well-intentioned, are made secretly?
Yeah.
The consequences can be devastating.
Yeah.
And rebuilding trust once it's shattered like this, not just in the team, but the whole community around it, how hard is that? Makes you really think about the cost of not being transparent.
This whole mess with Lily, it just speaks volumes about that tricky balance, you know, between wanting to get results, pragmatism maybe, and being transparent. Lily might have truly believed paying players was for the right reason, maybe to make the team better, but doing it secretly, it just wrecked everything.
Totally undermined.
It shows how good intentions can pave the road to, well, disaster if you ignore communication, honesty, and just basic respect for the group. A really painful lesson about long-term damage from short-term fixes. Okay, so let's bring these two stories back together now, because there's this really crucial common thread, isn't there? Running through Amber's private struggle and Lily's public crisis.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the role of friendship, real support. Both Amber and Lily are absolutely reeling, feeling exposed, vulnerable.
Totally raw.
But, crucially, they have friends who actually show up for them.
Yeah.
Right when they need it most.
Exactly. And let's look at Freddie's role for Lily here. It's so thoughtful and practical, too.
Right.
He checks on her late at night. Doesn't just offer empty words. He brings baked beans on toast.
Comfort food.
The ultimate comfort food, Lily calls it. That small act, it says so much about real empathy, doesn't it?
It really does.
And Lily admits she's nowhere near okay. Not 5 out of 5, fine, maybe 3-ish or 1. Shows how low she is.
Yeah.
She feels like she's just fouling things up, making this list of debits and nothing on the credit side. It makes her feel aimless and empty.
That sounds familiar, like Amber's feeling of being a fraud.
Exactly, that internal struggle, feeling like a failure, like you're not enough or you've let everyone down. Both women are wrestling with that profound sense of inadequacy.
So it's not just about the advice then. It's the tangible comfort, the presence, that seems to cut through Lily's despair. What makes Freddie's approach work so well?
I think it's because his focus isn't on fixing the external problem, you know, the cricket team mess. That's huge and complicated.
Right.
His focus is on Lily's internal state, her pain. He tells her, really simply, to dump that list because it's not helpful.
Practical.
Very. He doesn't dismiss her feelings, but he gently redirects her. Reminds her she has special talents, predicts she'll come back from this. It offers hope, possibility, separate from the immediate disaster.
A different perspective.
Totally. And it contrasts so sharply with the harsh reality of the team situation. He's affirming her inherent worth. And we also hear Linda and Freddie agreeing later, rather, you will keep an eye on her. She's pretty low.
That shared concern.
It shows this network of care, that comfort food. It's not just food, it's being seen, being cared for, literally being sustained when you feel empty.
So pulling it all together, what does this tell us? It really highlights how crucial friends like Brad, Freddie, and Linda are.
Invaluable.
And how simple acts, presence, comfort food, just listening without judgment are often as important, maybe more important, than trying to offer immediate solutions or advice.
Especially at first.
Both Amber and Lily are facing these double challenges, aren't they? The internal stuff. Amber's image issues, Lily's self-critical list, and the external fallout The team quitting, Billy resigning.
Yeah, the internal and external crises feeding each other.
It really makes you think. When you're feeling aimless and empty or like a total fraud caught between your own head and the consequences outside, what support actually helps?
Right.
How do you tell the difference between useful advice that empowers you and just needing a friend to, well, patch you up with comfort and just be there?
It's about meeting someone where they are, isn't it? And that's the core message, I think. These stories show that getting through a crisis, personal or public, it's not something you do alone.
Definitely not.
It takes deep empathy, practical, grounded support. It's not always about fixing the big problem right away that takes time. It's often about reaffirming the person's worth, especially when they feel like they've lost their way or lost themselves entirely. That journey to start again, it depends just as much on the community, the real connections within it, as it does on the individual's own strength.
So we've covered a lot today. We've peeled back the layers on Amber's search for authenticity and really dived into the mess of Lily's leadership crisis.
Quite the journey.
What both stories really drive home, I think, is that facing yourself or facing the consequences of your actions, it's never easy.
Never. It takes immense courage.
But they both show so powerfully the ripple effects of our choices, good intentions or not, and just how vital those supportive, non-judgmental relationships are when navigating these really tough times of self-discovery or public accountability.
Absolutely. In a world where it's frankly pretty easy to project a certain image, especially online, or maybe hide behind secrecy, these stories from Ambridge, they pose a really vital question for all of us, I think.
Yeah, what's that?
What does it actually mean to start again? To genuinely rebuild? And how much of that difficult journey relies on the real connections we build and maintain? Those connections that keep us steady, offer comfort, remind us we have worth, even when the truth is hard and the future looks really uncertain. Something to think about.
So what are you doing now?
Just getting ready for the next episode. Just
And,
moving mics around.
So what do you do?
I do the spot effects on the archers. Any
Are you what we
movements
call Foley then?
and- kind of. Yep.
Okay. And these are all part of the paraphernalia of production.
Yep. That's the ball bar. That's.
This one.
Yep. That's.
Haley so wanted to be in their own place when their baby came. It's due in 2 months. Not much chance of that now. No. I mean, it would have been a stretch for them financially, mind, but I just wish there was something practical I could do to help them, Caroline.
I think The Archers has had this immense popularity over the years, basically because it has always very accurately reflected the reality of life and living in a rural community at whatever